Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Insanity Max Fitness Challenge group. So even though this challenge group is about fitness, it's also about your nutrition. And what I'm going to do today is talk to you about the nutrition plan that comes with your Insanity Max 30. So some of you may have ordered the challenge pack, just the regular challenge pack. So some of these things you may be going, oh my gosh, I don't have those. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I have a solution for you. Some of you may have ordered the deluxe Insanity Max 30, which comes with these little containers and this little shaker cup here. If you have those, great. Or if you're a 21-day fix user and you have these, that's where I have them. Guess what? You get to use these in our challenge group. So that is part of the nutrition guide. These little containers are going to help you measure out your food each day. And Shanti breaks it down. It's super simple. You have the freedom as long as they fit inside these containers. And don't worry, you get multiple containers each day. So some people are going to have 4 of those red containers each day and 3 of the green, but it's different for the 2 plans. So your most of the challenge packs didn't come with these little containers or the shaker cup. They came with your Shakeology, this guide, the No Time to Cook guide, which I'm going to go over last because I feel like this should be your last resort. I prefer if you don't eat out on this challenge plan, but I understand sometimes things come up. This little guy, or big guy, is going to be your nutrition Bible for the next 60 days. This is going to have everything to get you set up on the right nutrition plan and get you started on eating clean and eating the right amounts, which is what's so important on this plan, is eating the right amounts. And your pack should have come with one of these too. It's a little calendar that shows different recipes for each of the Shakeology flavors that there are. So whichever flavor yours is, it should have come with one of these. If it didn't, don't worry. I'll get you lots of these recipes for our Shakeology. So first step, what you want to do is you're going to take everything out of the box, make sure you have everything that was supposed to come with your challenge pack. Then I want you to read this Max Out Nutrition to the Max guide, because this is going to tell you exactly what to eat and what each food category means. There's 2 different plans for the Insanity Max group, and this is on page 6. So in order to figure out what you should eat each day, you're going to look at plan A or plan B, and you'll fit into one of the 2 categories. So you'll either be an A or B, and it's based on your weight. So if you're over or under 150 pounds, you'll be an A or you'll be in B. Then if you look down at the bottom here, it's going to show you the daily food chart, how many of each food group you're going to eat per day. And they are going to be portioned for each food group. So you'll see first on here that there are the green containers. If you have the containers, you're going to have either 3 or 4 of your vegetables each day. One of the cool things that Shanti did differently in this group, or this meal plan here, is he actually measured them out in cups. So on this vegetable page, it actually shows you a cup of kale or a cup of broccoli. There are going to be some items on the plan, though, that you're going to measure in quantity of the item. Instead of cutting up your asparagus and stuffing it all in this container, it says 10 large asparagus spears. So keep an eye out for those. There are some of those in this group. Or it'll say half of a medium eggplant if you choose eggplant for the day. Or beets, 2 medium beets. You don't have to cut the beets up and stuff them in this little container. And then each of the food items on the list are actually rated or listed in order from their nutritional value. Which ones are going to give you the best nutritional value are going to be at the top of the list. And then it goes down from there. So some of the things on the bottom of the list, it doesn't mean you can't have them. It just means that they have less nutritional value for you than some of the items at the top of the list. So after we have, you'll see how many greens you're going to have each day. So those are your vegetables. Then you'll see how many purples you're going to have each day, which these are your fruits. You'll see your red containers, or the little red square on here. That's your protein. So you'll have either 4, it looks like 4 on both plans. You'll have 4 proteins. Everybody will have 4 of these each day. And then we have the yellow containers. These are your carbohydrates. These are my favorites, so I save these and cherish them because I am notorious for overdoing my carbs. So I have to measure my carbs out each day so that I don't go over because they're my favorite. And then you have healthy fats. So this is like avocados or hummus. All your cheeses except for 2. There's 2 cheeses that actually fall into the red category, your protein category, which those are cottage cheese and ricotta cheese. So those actually fall into this category. The other cheeses fall into your healthy fats category. And then there's the oranges, which these are seeds and dressings. There's homemade dressing recipes in here that are Fix approved. So you'd have one of these, or I think it's 2 tablespoons is what the measurement comes out to. And then there's oils and nut butters. So that's like your coconut oil or your natural peanut butter or natural almond butter. So once you determine which of the 2 food plans you're going to be in, you're then going to want to read through each of these food categories so you can get a good understanding of what foods fall into what categories. There are like the cottage cheese and the ricotta cheese. Some things fall into different categories than you would think that they would. Avocado and a healthy fat. Corn is actually a carbohydrate. It's not a vegetable. So if you have corn in anything, it counts as your low carbohydrates. So you'll want to read through those. Banana. I have a banana every day in my shake. That actually a half a banana counts as 1 purple, and I believe it's because of the sugar content in bananas. So if I have a whole banana, that's all of my fruit that I'm supposed to have for a day. Or you can do 2 cups or 2 purple containers of fruit. There's a couple other things in here that are measured by the actual fruit size, but like berries, you can do a cup or a container of berries. Proteins, you'll want to read through the protein list. Greek yogurt is a protein. Regular yogurt is a protein. Your Shakeology, that is a protein every day. So one of my proteins is already dedicated to my Shakeology every day. And then you've got your carbohydrates. And again, these are all listed in nutritional value order. So you'll notice at the bottom of this list are things that people probably eat more of. Waffles, pancakes, bagels, tortillas. Those are all in the bottom category. So they don't have as much nutritional value for you, mostly because they have processed foods in them, as opposed to like sweet potatoes, yams, quinoa, like black beans, stuff like that. Then you've got your healthy fats. So the avocado, those are in the blues. Nuts. Again, nuts are in the, they're one of the ones that you have to count. So you would count your almonds out, or your pistachios or your cashews. Hummus counts as a blue. Coconut milk, and then all your cheeses. So again, you can split these up. If you want to have cheese on your salad and cheese on your whatever you have for dinner that night, just do a half of a container or a half of what the option is on here. So if it says 1/4 of a cup, do an 1/8 of a cup. Whoa, getting wild in here. So then you have the seeds and the dressings. So that's like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds. Those count as the little orange containers. once a day for these guys. Dressings as well. And again, 2 tablespoons of these homemade dressings that are going to be found in the book here. Oils and nut butters, that's your coconut oil, flaxseed oil, peanut butters, almond butters, cashew butters, things like that. And then you get to this page, and it's the freebies page. So you can have as much of these as you want. So water, obviously, tons of water each day, and we'll get to that on another page too. And then there's coffee and tea. Coffee and tea, when I say that you can have as much as you want, that does not mean that you can have as many Starbucks lattes every day as you want, or frappuccinos. Actually, you can have frappuccinos. So coffee is very specific, so is tea. Those of you that drink black coffee or Americanos, these are for you. Coffee should be limited, not because of the nutritional value, because there is nutritional value in coffee, but most of the time when you order coffee at a latte stand or Starbucks, you're getting things added to it like syrups that are full of sugar and they're processed. Lemon and lime juice, but that does not mean lemonade or limeade. And it means no margaritas. Mustard is a freebie. I eat tons of mustard because it's a freebie on here. Horseradish, herbs, spices, anything except for salt. Salt is not unlimited. Garlic, ginger, hot sauce. It specifically says on here Tabasco or Mexican hot sauces because of the sodium and sugar content. So look at those. Flavor extracts, cinnamon, and then the seasoning mixes that are also in this book. So there's a couple stipulations with the containers. The first one is, and I don't think it actually says it in here, but it says it in our 21-day fix guide. These two, your purple and your yellow, your carbs and your fruits, you want to eat these before 6 o'clock at night because they all convert to the same thing. Carbs turn into sugars, which are fruits. Fruits and sugars turn into fat. Except these are healthy fat. So you want to eat these earlier in the day so that you can burn them off so that your body doesn't retain them as fat. And you don't want it to spike your insulin levels before you go to bed. You don't want to be up at night. These are going to create sugar in your body. So try to eat these earlier in the day, breakfast and lunch, or your snacks, or don't have a fruit and a carb with dinner. I don't usually have fruit at dinner anyway, but try to make sure that you have these two containers early in the day. The next stipulation is this little yellow container. 3 times a week, you can substitute one of these containers for these substitutions on page 17. This is where we get some technical terms, or we just use technicalities on this because I don't want you to say you can never have wine again. I'm not going to be that person that says you can never have chocolate again. You can, but you need to just watch the limit on them. You need to watch your intake on them because it will affect your results. And so we've said, or Shanti has said, you can substitute one of these 3 times a week for like soy milk or almond milk is on here. Juices, you can substitute one of these for 4 ounces of wine or 1 ounce of alcohol like vodka, but only 3 times a week. So if you're like me, I only have 2 carbs. So if I want to have a full glass or an 8-ounce glass of wine, I have to give up both of my carbohydrates for the day once a week. You can substitute it for chocolate or popcorn. You can give up one of these for 3 cups of air-popped popcorn. Hey, that's a win. That's a lot of popcorn, but no salt and no butter. So think about that. Frozen yogurt, you can give this up for 2/3 of a cup of frozen yogurt, but you need to be careful about what kind of frozen yogurt you choose. So usually I find these are not worth it to give up just because I love my carbohydrates, so I don't like to give them up. Next we have beverages, water. How many of you drink water constantly? Well, I do during the week. The weekends I struggle because I get busy, I forget about it, but at work, I carry one of these. It sits at my desk. It's a Starbucks cup. It's 25 ounces, and then I can just drink on it constantly. Some people have their shaker cup. They take that to work with them, and then they just rinse it out and drink out of that. But here is the general guideline for your water intake. You're going to want to take your weight. So say you're 140 pounds, divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you should drink a day, minimum. So that would be 70 ounces of water a day. I drink more than what I'm supposed to drink. I drink 100 to 120 ounces of water a day. Just my body functions better when I have more water. So that's just my kind of personal preference. I find with this program, with the Insanity, I sweat more. So I find myself drinking a lot of water after I work out. But it's good for you. You need to rehydrate your body. And it'll also help you, for those of you that haven't eaten clean before, this is going to help you flush your body out and detox naturally. So when you start eating clean, you're going to rid your body of the chemicals that you've been putting in. And Shakeology is going to help you with that too, with your pre and probiotics, your superfoods. You're going to start flushing your body out. So it's important that you drink a lot of water with good fibers to flush everything out of your system and to keep you hydrated. So you can add things to your water. You can add mint, you can add limes, you can add raspberries, strawberries, lemons, cucumbers. I do cucumbers and limes in the summertime just to mix it up a little bit. And then there's the tea and coffee page. So I drink coffee. Personally, I drink coffee every day. I just drink it a little bit differently than I used to. I don't drink it with my Coffee Mate coffee creamer. I have black coffee with stevia and either low-fat or non-fat milk. And I will usually have 2 cups of coffee every day. Sometimes I only have 1. I think I had 1 today. But most days I follow this plan and I have it the way that Shanti says that you can. Then there are things that Shanti, or that we prefer that you avoid with this nutrition plan. Alcohol. Alcohol dehydrates you. Alcohol is a natural depressant. It's a carbohydrate, so you're going to retain sugars and fats. And you have to give up your carbohydrates to have these. I need my carbs, so I try not to give these up when I don't have to. But I do. Every once in a while, I have a glass of wine, or I'll have a vodka with water or soda water and lemon and lime. Just remember what you have to give up in order to have it. So sodas and juice, no soda, no juice. I'm sorry for soda drinkers out there. It's just not worth it. There's so many chemicals in there, and it's just, don't even get me started on that. Sports and drinks, or sports drinks. They're usually packed with sugar, chemicals, sodium. There's actually a lot of salt in sports drinks, which is good if you are like running a marathon. But for Insanity Max 30 or just in general, try not to drink them. So once you figure out how many of these bad boys you're going to eat each day, then you get to mix and match and create your meals for your week. So personally, I eat the same thing for breakfast, my Shakeology, lunch, and my snack all week long. It keeps it simple. I can prep it all on Sunday. I can get it all ready to go. So when I get up in the morning, I make my shake, I grab my food, and I go. So I will plan, so probably next week I'll probably have, this is just throwing this out there, but I will probably have 2 hard-boiled eggs, a piece of whole grain toast, and 1 teaspoon of natural peanut butter. That is what I will have for my breakfast. You can you can do breakfast or you can do Shakeology first thing, but it's extremely important that you eat within an hour of waking up. Mine usually ends up being like 2 hours, but if you think about it, you eat dinner at 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and then you go to bed, you sleep for 8 hours. If you don't eat until 7 or 8, that's 12 hours that you've gone without any fuel in your body. Your body needs to wake up, get your metabolism going, start processing food, start burning fat. So give it a little bit of something in the morning. I know a lot of people have a hard time with breakfast, but you gotta do it. Get something down. I don't care if it's one egg or a piece of toast or your Shakeology. Get something in your body in the morning. So then I will either do that for breakfast or I'll have my Shakeology first. Typically, I'm not a fan of just mixing it with water. I don't like it super runny like that. So I mix mine in a blender. I have a Ninja on the counter back here. I use it every day. I do 8 ounces of water because then I don't have to give up a carbohydrate for almond milk. I do 8 ounces of water, a scoop of my Shakeology. I usually have both of my fruits because I will have a whole banana in my Shakeology, and like a teaspoon of peanut butter. So right there I've got, oh, and spinach. I usually put a cup of spinach, a green container. So I have red for my Shakeology, 2 purples, and a green, and then a teaspoon, which I don't have a teaspoon now, but a teaspoon. So that's simple. Or my breakfast will be 2 eggs, a piece of toast, and a teaspoon of peanut butter. For lunch, you could do like taco salads, and you could do your taco meat made with this taco seasoning in here, ground turkey, 2 containers of lettuce, or you can do like lettuce with tomatoes and bell peppers. And then I like to do half a container of corn and half a container of black beans. And then I just put it all in one container. I keep my meat separately. I don't even need a dressing at that point. I just use the taco meat as my dressing on my salad. Put my vegetables in one container. I put my taco meat in the other. And then I grab all this stuff and I go. Keeping it simple like that for this first week at least is going to be key for you to success in the first week. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Once you kind of get the hang of what to eat and how many of which containers throughout the day, then you can start getting wild and crazy with it, and you can make like a Mexican lasagna that we have a recipe for that's incredible. But you'll know how to split it up and get your containers split throughout the day. Dinners, my boyfriend does not like leftovers. He hates them for the most part. So we have a different dinner each day. And I will just plan those out each day, and then I will measure my containers. The best thing about this is that you can eat all of these foods in this book. So I will just plan regular dinners, and I'll make the recipes clean, but I'll measure my containers, or I'll measure my portions for each food that we have. You would have pizza, but do it with like a wheat tortilla and homemade pizza sauce, vegetables, and then top it with a blue container of cheese. I mean, it's so simple. You just choose items off this list and make your dinners. So lastly, before I go, because this is really long, is the No Time to Cook guide. So Shaun T is much more lenient than I typically am with my food, but everybody gets stuck in a situation, or you want to go out to eat. You know, it's your birthday and you want to go out, but you want to try and stick to the plan. So here's 10 tips for eating out. Don't be afraid to ask your server to modify something on their menu. That is their job. They're there to serve you. Most restaurants aren't going to give you a hard time about it if you just simply say, I'd like my steak with no butter. They'll just grill your steak and bring it out to you. Or your vegetables. I want steamed vegetables with nothing on them. So read through these tips. If you keep this in your purse or keep it with you, if you're a guy, if you think that you're going to eat out somewhere, there's tips for restaurants as well as something else I don't really prefer, fast food chains. There's options in here for some of the fast food chains out there that are better than most of the options on their menus. Again, I'm not a big fan of this, but if you get stuck someplace and you didn't prepare, plan to fail. Fail to plan to fail. So if you didn't plan, then you're going to be stuck with one of these, but at least you can choose an option off of here that's going to be better for you than some of the other things on their menus. So you can use those, or in the back here, another one that I don't recommend. I used to eat these all the time, and I'm sure that during that time I'd really had cholesterol. Frozen meals. I used to eat these every day for lunch for like 2 years straight. Smart Ones, Weight Watchers. If you have to, again, if you have to have one of these, you're stuck someplace, choose one of the ones on this list versus some of their other menu items because of their sodium and fat content. So that is your guide to eating out. Make sure you read that one too. This is your Insanity Max Nutrition Guide. If you have any questions, please let me know. I know this is long. I'm really sorry, but I felt like I needed to explain it more in person, or as close to as in person as I could, especially for those of you that have never done the 21-day fix and you don't know what it means, and you don't want to figure it out on your own. You're not alone. We're here. We're coaches for you. That's why we're here. I've done the 21-day fix. I'm doing Insanity Max with you guys. We're going to get you through this every step of the way. I promise you, you will not fail. So good luck to you guys, and I cannot wait to get started. Bye.